It's not often that you see a currency like the pound cratering and interest rates rising the way it is. It feels more like not a reserve currency, but a third world currency.
An emerging market currency, yeah. You absolutely see this frequently happen in emerging markets, right? It's recently happened in Turkey, for example. But Larry Summers is spot on. I mean, the reaction was quite dramatic. It's akin to what we used to call the bond vigilantes. You remember this is a phrase coined by Ed Yardeni, a longtime guest here on CNBC, who talked about there was a moment in the 80s when it looked like the U.S. was going to go on a very kind of inflationary path, and bond yields started to rise dramatically. And bond vigilantes said, no, you can't do that. It's going to be too expensive. So the market vigilantes have done the same thing to the UK in very rapid fashion, both with the sharp rise in interest rates and also with their currency, to say what you're doing is very inflationary. It's not just the tax cuts. Larry Summers is right. It's the tax cuts, but it's in addition to the tax cuts. It's that they're going to cut taxes and then spend dramatically in order to subsidize energy costs, which are really hurting consumers there. So they announced last week that their borrowing that the UK was going to do in 1 year alone was going to go up 44% in 1 year. That's a lot. That's why the markets reacted. What we're showing you there, the UK is spending 6.5% of GDP to subsidize and shield consumers and businesses from the cost of energy. By the way, the rest of Europe's going along, even though it's not.
So you've got the UK simultaneously cutting taxes, spending more to subsidize energy and help people get through a long winter. And borrowing to do both, right? They're borrowing to do both. So interest rates are going up. And at the same time, you have the Bank of England tightening interest rates. So you've got two things that seem to be in exact opposition to one another. Spending and tax cuts on the one hand, and tightening monetary policy on the other. Where does this end up for the UK and for the rest of Europe?
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. You're right. They're working at cross purposes. The Bank of England has had a very rough week, I think, as they see what's been happening, because what the government is trying to do is going to be very inflationary, the thing that the Bank of England is working against. Look, at some point, the markets force you to cry uncle, right? That's why we're referring to them as vigilantes. At some point, if you're going to subsidize energy and you have to borrow to subsidize energy, your energy is getting more expensive because you pay for it in dollars. And the dollar's getting more expensive every day. And then your interest rates are going up. So to finance that borrowing is even more costly. At some point, you just can't do it and it breaks, right? So they'll have to pull back on the program. They'll have to do something if we continue to see markets react as negatively as they are.
I think that there's a lot of speculation right now about what the new Italian prime minister is going to do. Of course, we've seen what a financial crisis looks like in Greece and Italy as well. Is there a contagion risk here from the UK? Is it, I mean, like the UK, which was a stalwart of Europe and Europe's economy, if they're heading down a path where there's speculation about an IMF bailout, what does that mean for the smaller economies?
Yeah, so the Italian prime minister, even before she was elected on Sunday, had promised to show more fiscal discipline than was originally what the markets were worried about. If she wasn't convinced of it then, she better be convinced of it now based on what she's seen happening in the United Kingdom. Because, by the way, the United Kingdom, their debt to GDP ratios in the 70% roughly. In Italy, it's at roughly 125%. They have a lot less room to maneuver in Italy. At the same time, I was just in Italy last week speaking with a lot of executives there. How concerned are they about a debt crisis? And one executive said to me, he's like, listen, the prime minister of Italy is kind of like the governor of California. Not in charge of the currency. A lot of the spending and all the decisions happen somewhere else on the other side of the continent or the other side of the country. We're a big country. We're really important. They're not going to let us fail. But at the same time, what she does is nearly as important as what the bloc decides to do as a whole and what they're going to do.
All right, Michelle, thank you so good to see you. Michelle Caruso-Cabrera.
Good to see you guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks very much. Likewise.